there, welcome back to my channel, Scrap and Coffee. My name is Ivanka and today I have my very first project share for you for 2023. It's about damn time, right? We are halfway through February, at least that's what it feels like to me, and this is the first project. But we're here, it's all good. I have a pretty fun folio for you. It's not too difficult, not too complicated, but there are some fun elements in here. And because I'm the most creative person here on YouTube to come up with names for their projects, I've called this project Time to Relax, because that's the paper collection that I've used. It's a collection from P13 papers. I think it's an older one. I have it in my stash for at least 1.5 years, maybe a little longer than that. But at the time that they released it, I fell in love with the colors in this. I've bought 2 of the paper packs. But for this project I only needed 1, and I have some scraps left, so and I've literally placed pattern paper everywhere, so 1 is enough. Although I have to say I've been a little creative with my papers, where I've used strips, something that I've been doing maybe a little bit too much lately. It feels like it's almost becoming like a signature design thing in my projects, so I seriously need to stop doing it. But for some reason I can't. And in this time it was really convenient for using papers and scraps that are just not big enough. So you added a little strip of contrast and then you can make it all work. So you will see that on the inside. So it's a pretty big folio. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can have a look on the inside. Okay, this is as far as I can go with zooming out. So I need to shove everything around a little bit here and there, but we will make it work. So the folio, you might want to know, measures 7¼ by 7¼ square, and the spine is 1¼ inch in thickness. I've decorated gusset areas that were at least 1/4 inch in width with pattern paper as well. So what I did here on the front, like I said, I've used a lot of strips of paper for contrast and for because it was convenient with decorating. And I also did that here. I've made a little tuck spot with some pattern paper, and I've fuzzy cutted some elements. In the front and the back sheet of the paper collection you get fuzzy cut elements, and this is from an ephemera pack of the collection, and that's the only piece that I've used out of there. And then I've put some photo mats in here to keep my flap closed. So I don't have any magnets here, but you certainly can use magnets there as well. But yeah, you can put greeting card or a photo there. I've backed with pattern paper to make it nice and sturdy to keep the flap down. And then we can open that up and flip this one to the bottom. Now, like I said, it's going to be hard to get it all in frame. So I've used lots of contrasting colors. I'm sorry, I just bumped my camera mount there. So yeah, what I did for this project is there will be 2 tutorials on my channel. The first one is constructing the whole folio except for these 2 closure pieces. That will be in the second video. And these closure pieces, you don't need them. Everything will stay in place without them. But it's just like an extra sturdiness on keeping everything together in your 2 sections. And I think it's a fun element here. So I've made a second tutorial video on these pieces, so how to connect these pieces, but also on how I did these layouts here, how I put that all together. So that would be in a second separate video. I've played with the papers a little bit, so here I fuzzy cut it around some flowers and backed that with some black cardstock. I try not to do it too much because it's very time consuming and I didn't really feel like doing it this time, but here and there sometimes you just need to. So like I said, that's a magnetized closure. I have a photo in here. This is a 3.5 by 5, but I am not completely set on it, so I just left it loose. I can slide it under here. And yeah, you can glue other parts down later on if you decided on a photo, but for now it's a 3.5 by 5 that's just loose there, but it will stay in place because of the tuck spot there. And what I have about 40 photos in here, the way that I did it, right? So that's approximately the amount that you can put in there, but I've created some tuck spots here with the pattern paper for some small photos or a journaling spot. And then right here, this is a belly band, but we've placed quite some dividers in here. So on this side I can place a larger photo mat and also on this side I can place a larger photo mat. And I can put more in here, but I didn't want to bulk it up too much. So I can place a 7x5 photo on here. I wanted to show you that. Or you can do 2 smaller ones, or you can add some pattern paper on there. We can play with it. Then here we had one sheet that had this nice image there. I wanted to keep it intact. I'm not 100% in love with this layout, but okay, it is what it is. And I've made a little tuck spot here with the pattern paper again. So I added a little strip for contrast there, but I think it's the wrong color. I think that's my problem. Then we can flip that one to the side. Here we have a large pocket, but again I've used dividers so we can put full-size photos in there, but it's not going to shove around. And of course the dividers are always optional, so if you rather have space for a larger photo mat here or some larger stuff, you just leave the divider out. But I did the dividers here so I can place, and it's always a little, you have to feel where the divider is of how it goes, but we can put some stuff in there. Then I just made a little layout here because you don't have space everywhere to bulk it up, but I could make some layers there. So I just stuck the photo mat on top of the beautiful paper, not something that I do often, but this time I did. And I actually wanted to do what I do often, like a little embellishment there, but it was just, I couldn't find the right thing, so I just left it like this, and it's also fine. And this one we can flip down, so I have to shove the whole folio up again. And here we have side stacked pocket, but again I've used the dividers here, so I've placed some smaller stuff in the front pocket. So in this one I can put 4x4 or full size 6x4 photos in that front pocket. And then in the back one, that's a large pocket, so I have larger photo mat there. And here I've used some scrap piece to make that a little bit of more fun photo mat. So here I didn't stamp it, but you can place a photo there, or you can journal. So that's what I did here. I'm not gonna put all these photo mats back in because it's just going to be too time consuming. I'm going to fold it in for now because it's a little bit easier to show you the rest, but I will show you the whole thing when everything is opened up. So then in the bottom section, we can flip this one down one more time. And then we have 2 layouts with photo mats. So I've used the same papers, just in different orientation, added some strips of the green for some contrast there. And then this one can go to the side. And here again we have a belly band with a divider, only this time it's in the other direction, so we can place our photo mats horizontal. Same size photo mats, and I did basically the same thing, so I can put a 7x5 or smaller photos on there, or you can put pattern paper and add a full size photo or something. And then here we have a stacked belly band on top, and again I've played with the pattern paper there a little bit to make that a fun element. So I can place something behind, and I can place something in between those 2 strips there. Then I chose to do 2 smaller photo opportunities here on this layout. And again, I didn't stamp one, so you can also use it as journaling. Because what I did is I've glued the black in place, but the white is, I can replace the white for a photo. I can flip that one down. So again, here a layout. I did a little bit of a smaller photo so we can see that beautiful flower pattern there a little bit better. And then here again we have a side stacked pocket where again in the back you could put a larger photo mat that we have here, or you can put some, I did some full size photos this time. And then here we can place not 2 4x4 or 6x4s, but 3 3x4 photos in here. So that's another option, and you can use whatever you want to use. You can use this on the other side stack pocket as well if you want to. Like I said, I'm not going to put everything back now, I will do it later. So that's what we have there. And then here on the bottom flap we can flip that out one more time, and then we have the same stack pocket. I'm trying to get this in a way where I can get it somewhat in frame. The same belly band that we had on the top, where we have space for larger photo mats on the sides. So again, I've used the divider there. So I think that's a really fun element and just gives you room for larger photos, just to play with, right? And fill that up however you like to fill that up. So those are all the places in the folio, so I'm going to try to flip everything out and show you. It's basically a 3x3. Oh, need to open that one, of course. So if you want to make this, you need to make sure that you have space to work, but also just keep in mind that if you are gifting it to somebody or make it for yourself and you want to have a look at the photos, yeah, I don't think you will often have it like this laying down. I think you would do more like how I showed you the album. You look at this, the sections, but it's pretty fun folio to make, and like I said, it comes together pretty quick. Just for me, getting the measurements right was a little tricky, so it took me a little time to get there, but I did. So of course I've provided a cutting guide for you. You can download the cutting guide on my website, scrapandcoffee.com. I also provided the link directly to the blog page of this project, where you can find a download button to the free PDF file. And yeah, you definitely need it if you want to make it and work along with the tutorial, because all these little gusset areas in between the layers are slightly different everywhere. So you really want to have that cutting guide if you want to make this project. So the tutorial will be coming up pretty quick. It's all prepared, and so keep your eyes open for it if you're interested. And for now I want to say thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next one. Bye bye.